So good day, everyone. Good day, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to another Power BI section. So for today's session, we're having a special guest, Enea. Okay, so it's going to take us on the topic Power BI for Teams and visualizing the Dataverse. Right, so this session was brought together with collaboration between Enterprise DNA and UrBizEdge. So for some of you that might be interested in Enterprise DNA, that goal is basically powering Power BI users to change their world. They also run a challenge every month. You can also check them out on LinkedIn. They're also a data company, so you can also check them out on LinkedIn. So as you all know, also a data company also in Lagos, Nigeria. We have a branch in Lagos, Port Harcourt, and Abuja. So this is our calendar for our upcoming training. So on the 24th of November, we're having business intelligence and dashboard using Microsoft Power BI. On the 1st of December, we're having in-depth Excel training, executive dashboard, and business data analysis. On the 1st of December, we're having big data analysis, Power Query, Power Pivot, and VBA using Excel. So our special guest, Enea. Enea is a content creator, a Power Platform business consultant for being novaCapta software and consulting. He's also a YouTuber. So I'll give you the link to his channel on YouTube. He's a very, very popular person on YouTube. So let's give a brief about his profile. Power Platform business consultant is a business consultant for novaCapta software consulting and Pomegranate, and his role basically is to help our customers to find solutions using Microsoft Power Platform. He studied computer science with a touch of economics and management. So no further ado, I'll hand over the session to our special guest, Enea. So I'll stop sharing my screen right about now. So I'll stop sharing my screen and I'll go back. I'll mute myself and I'll go back.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Yes, hello and welcome to today's session. Today we're going to talk about Power BI for Microsoft Teams and learn how we can visualize the Dataverse. I have prepared a couple of slides so that you have something more interesting than my face to see for the next hour. Questions are welcomed anytime. I also have prepared a slide at the end for a Q&A, questions and answers. So if you want to hold on to that question, be my guest. Otherwise, just pop the question anytime. I might not know all the answers to the questions, but I will make sure that I'll take them with me and I can prepare like a short answers post in my LinkedIn profile. Thanks for joining me today and wish you a lot of fun. Okay, let's take a look at what you can expect in today's session. First, we are going to start by introducing myself. Later on, I will move on to presenting the Microsoft Power Platform. Then we'll see what Microsoft Teams and the Power Platform are and how they collaborate together. Then we will move on closer to the topic of today's session, Dataverse for Teams and Power BI for Teams. And then later on, we will continue with the demo and see how all that works in live. And I will also share one slide where I speak about licensing. And at the end, you are welcome to ask any questions you have. A little bit about me. My name is Enea, and I was born in Tirana, and I grew up there, and then I moved then to Greece. So I also lived in Greece for 11 years. And since 2010, I have been living in Germany, where I also studied computer science, and I also specialize on business systems. I work as a Power Platform business consultant at novaCapta in Cologne, Germany. And I'm also a content creator, which means I spend a lot of free time, a lot of private time creating videos and also sometimes writing a blog or so on my website. And I just love sharing my knowledge, and that's what I'm doing today as well. So if you want to try up to date, if you want to try to stick up to date with the latest and greatest around the Power Platform, make sure you follow my channel. And you can follow me also on LinkedIn as well, where I post regularly. And I used to be a Microsoft certified trainer as well last year. I didn't extend it this year because I just didn't have the time to. I think, I try to stay up to date with the latest certifications whenever I have the time. But most of the time, I don't have that. So, yeah. Okay, but enough about me. Let's move on and talk about more interesting stuff. I assume most of you already know that what the Power Platform is, but nonetheless, I would like to go through it again, since it feels like every time I do these sessions, another component has joined the Power Platform family. So the Power Platform is made of now 5 key components. We have Power Apps for application development. We have Power Automate for process automation. We have Microsoft Power BI for business analytics, also being one of the oldest components in the Power Platform. And then we have the newest of the 5. We have Power Virtual Agents, which allows us to build intelligent bots. We have all seen them in multiple websites on the bottom right corner, usually, where they pop up and ask you if you need any help and so on. Those are all bots. And then something similar we can build with Power Virtual Agents as well. And the newest part of this family is Microsoft Power Pages, which allows us to build external websites, similar like portals, but a little bit more powerful, a little bit more extended. As you can see, we now have also a logo for the Power Platform. I think last time I was on this session, I think it was last year or so, I don't remember having that logo. So now we have a Power Platform logo, which I really like, and that's why I put it also in the middle of the slide. We all know that all this would not function without some other core components that we constantly use when working with a Power Platform, like, for example, data connectors. Without the data connectors, nothing will function. All that integration will not happen. So that's a big part in Power Platform. Then we have also AI Builder. Most of the people think AI Builder is just that premium AI that you pay a lot of money to automate stuff, to use the AI powers. But we also have some AI power already built in Power Apps and Power Automate, and we have that as a standard, being there when we use Power Automate or Power Apps with our standard licenses. For example, when we use the ideas in Power Apps, or where we create a Power Automate flow by just writing a sentence, for example. So this is also some AI power behind it. We also have Microsoft Dataverse. So Microsoft Dataverse is a big part of the Power Platform. It allows us to build relational databases, a very powerful database, and really is the backbone of the Power Platform. And also we have PowerFX, also with a new logo. And PowerFX is the programming language that we use in Power Apps. I really hope that it will also come into Power Automate, but for now we got the logo, and we're very proud of it. Let's take a look at the components one by one. We have Microsoft Power BI. It's self-service BI. It allows you to work with big data and corporate BI. You can share this visualization, the reports and the dashboards that you create. You can explore the data. You can visualize the data, and you can even use standard or custom built visuals. And then we have Power Apps. Power Apps is split into 3 main components. We have the Canvas apps, which is very powerful if you're working on mobile and you want to take that data and that information with you. So you can build your applications in a mobile form for a tablet or a phone. Then we have model-driven apps, which is built for processing a lot of data in a very fast way. You cannot customize it as much as Canvas apps, which is pixel perfect, but it still allows you some customization options. And then we have portals. Portals is similar to Power Pages. You can build websites for external users, for example, which functions like a gateway for your data and your information. And all this can be mobile, can be offline, and you can pretty much automate and create applications for all your business processes. Next, we have Power Automate. It used to be called Flow, and now it's called Power Automate, so it fits a little bit better into the Power Platform family, and Flow remained as a name for a flow, an automation. You can build simple or very complex automations to automate your daily business. You can build approval workflows, and you can even build your own API and have a custom connector. And then we have also RPA, Robotic Process Automation, which is also a part of Power Automate, but it is mostly used for legacy software, for software that doesn't have any API connection available. So you can have it attended or unattended, which means you can either have it like manually triggered, or you can have it to be triggered automatically. The ones that you trigger manually are for free. Also with Windows 11 now, you can you get it even pre-installed. For the unattended part, you need an extra license. Next, we have Power Virtual Agents, which are chatbots for internal services, external websites. You can use it for customer contact and much, much more. It's supported and trained by model. It has a supported and trained model, AI model, which you can extend. And yeah, it's very powerful. It can be very complicated if you extend it on that matter, on that size. And yeah, it's an awesome way to help your employees or your customers get simple answers on their questions without having the need to have a person in front of there being 24/7 available to answer these questions. Last but not least, we have Microsoft Power Pages, which is a secure enterprise-grade low-code software as a service. And it is there for creating, hosting, and administering modern external-facing business websites. Power Pages provides rich, customizable templates and a fluid visual experience. It is the newest member of the Microsoft Power Platform family, and it is also fully integrated with Dataverse, similar to the rest of the Power Platform components. Let us take a look at how the Power Platform and Microsoft Teams fit together. Low-code solutions have been present for some time now and have seen considerably increase in the adoption and usage since we moved to remote working. Companies are integrating the solutions teams to run their everyday processes and simplify their everyday work. On one hand, we have Microsoft Teams used for chat, collaboration, meetings, calls, and app integration for more than 75 million daily active users. Every single day are being produced more than 5 billion meeting minutes. This is a lot of data and a lot of time spent on that platform. On the other hand, we have the Power Platform, which is already being used by 97% of Fortune 500 companies around the globe. It is the most powerful platform ever created when it comes to empowering citizen developers to build custom-line business solutions. That doesn't mean that there is no place left for pro developers. If citizen developers can create such amazing business-critical solutions for their companies, imagine what pro developers can do. When Microsoft designed the Power Platform, they were also thinking on how they can integrate it all into one place. And what better place would that be than Microsoft Teams? So let's see how all that fits together. What does this slide show us? On the y-axis, we have the depth of coding required. As you can see, the bottom line is where the pro developers can unfold their true potential. That's what we see at the bottom line. Microsoft empowers you to create and integrate full code custom solutions into Microsoft Teams. In the middle, we have the Power Platform with all its components. I have specifically left Power Pages out since I think that it is more of a gateway, as I said, for your customers and externals. So I think that these four components are fit better into Microsoft Teams. As we see, the depth of coding is decreasing and it gets at its lowest at the top line, where we have the ready-made apps which come with Microsoft Office, like SharePoint, Word, Excel, and so on. Teams is a platform to integrate your apps and workflows. You can think of it as a spectrum from those apps that are available off the shelf, as I said, like SharePoint, Office apps, or any of the hundreds of partner apps that can be added to Teams. It's important to understand all the different ingredients in the Teams platform recipe and how they work together. So let's take a look at that. How we can extend Teams with low-code Power Platform tools. But first, what is low-code? It is the ability to create custom apps, workflows, or bots without really knowing the details of sophisticated coding or having prior experience of development. Anyone with a great idea can build a solution for their team to solve a business challenge. Power Platform is one of the ways to meet these challenges. And we can see here Microsoft Teams has Power Apps already embedded. This is an example where an application is shown on mobile and also in Microsoft Teams. Here we can see approvals, Power Automate approvals. Embedded in Microsoft Teams, you don't have to leave Teams and you can have your approvals in there. We can see also a bot. This is a Power Virtual Agent built for HR, for example, and yeah, ready to use for your users and colleagues in Microsoft Teams. And here we can see an embedded Power BI report. This is how it looks like in the website, and this is how it looks like also in Teams. Nothing different there, just being all in one place. Now that we are familiar with the Power Platform, let us move closer to the main topic of today's session. Part of it is Dataverse for Teams. Dataverse for Teams is a powerful database capability now available in Teams with your existing Teams license. As I said, existing Teams license. We'll talk about licenses later on, but keep that in mind. It doesn't cost anything extra. That's why it is a stripped down version of full Dataverse, which means it's like a baby Dataverse or like a lighter version of Dataverse. Formerly known also as the Common Data Service, which is the back end for the most demanding Microsoft Business applications, including Dynamics 365, which processes massive amounts of mission-critical data to the cloud every day for companies around the world. Dataverse for Teams takes the core capabilities of that platform and makes it a fully embedded feature and function of Teams. This allows you to build relational databases within Teams and also unlocks other features to build apps, bots, and workflows within Teams without leaving it. Let's take a look on some different data types. The data types available in Dataverse for Teams are a subset of the types available in Dataverse. So there are not all the types of columns available in Dataverse for Teams that are also in Dataverse. So you can work with a range of data types, including auto number, date, decimal, lookup, and so on. So the most important columns, column types are still there for you to use. And the big part or the great part of this tool is that Dataverse for Teams is a true relational database. With a lookup field, you can easily create relationships and connect to another table. This is then a foundation upon which to store the business data and build connected apps for Teams. Let us take a look at Power BI for Teams. Power BI app for Teams. It brings all the capabilities of PowerBI.com into Microsoft Teams. It's the same as we are familiar from PowerBI.com, just being in Microsoft Teams as an embedded application. You can view reports, apps, and dashboards. You can create things if you like, manage content in workspaces, give permissions, and build and share applications. It helps you get access to your data in a single place. Here you are already collaborating, where you are already collaborating. Microsoft Teams is all about collaboration. Within the Power BI application, as you can see on the screenshot in Teams, it is very easy to share reports and dashboards. Your colleagues will receive a rich preview card, making it easy to open the right report. Okay, I think, yeah, you made it. The slides are finally over. Now let's take a look how all this stuff works. I'm going to stop sharing my screen real quick so that I can switch from the presentation. Can you hear me again? Sorry, my connection dropped.
I can hear you, audio.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Okay, as I was saying, I wanted to stop sharing my screen so that I can switch from the presentation to yeah, what I want to build with you today. Second. now let me share my screen again. Okay, can you see my screen again?
Yes, yes, your Microsoft Teams.
Very well. Okay, so first I'm going to install, or I'm going to add the two applications that are needed for our demonstration. What I go is here at the apps section and click that away. Here we can search for Power Apps with a space, of course. And after clicking on that, you can say here add. And this is going to add now Power Apps as an application in my Teams client. And we can see it here on the left-hand side. What you can do from here is you can right-click it and say pin. So this way, this application is always there, even if we switch, or it should be there. Let me try that again. Apps. It sometimes takes 2 tries. Right-click, pin. Okay, now it sticks there. As you can see, when moving to other sections of Microsoft Teams, Power Apps is still there. Okay, and we need another application called Power BI. So I'm going to search for Power BI. There it is. I'm going to add that as well. And as you can see, we have now, the full Power BI experience that we are familiar in Power BI, the website inside our Teams. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to pin that. I'm going to try again to be sure. And now it says unpin. I don't know why it takes twice, but who knows? Maybe someone from Microsoft sees this and fixes. Okay, so we have now Power BI and Power Apps as an application inside our Teams. To visualize the data in Microsoft Dataverse, we need to create a Dataverse table, or 2 or 3, and get some data in there. To do so, we need to go into our Power Apps application. And then we have here 3 tabs. We have the Home tab, we have a Build tab, and an About tab. The Home app is where you can start learning, where you can start with already, from Microsoft. There's a problem reaching this app. Okay, let's retry that. Okay. As I was saying, from the Home tab, you can start here with pre-built applications. These are templates from Microsoft, and here's a lot for you to go learn about how you can build your applications inside of Microsoft Teams. I'm going to go to the Build tab, and from here, when it has loaded, I can select a team, and I will stick in the Contoso marketing team. And here we can see built by this team. These are applications that have been already built here, and these are installed applications, data flows, which is in preview, and we can see here what is happening in this team. Let us take a look at another team. I think this is better because here are already some applications, and let's build it in this team so that it's a bit easier to see, since here hasn't built anything yet. Okay, we can go here and say new, and we can select either app, chatbot, or a card. I'm going to select an app. We're not going to build a Power App today. I just find it easier to go into the Power Apps creator and then create the tables. You can also do it without that, but later on, if you want to build an application, because somehow you need to put that data in there, it's already there. No? So we just continue then with the application. Let's call this demo app, doesn't matter actually. So let's save. Now it's saving the application. Okay, and as you can see, we have the very familiar Power Apps, for you at least who know Power Apps, editor inside our Microsoft Teams. So the only difference here is that in the data section, we can select here the create new table, which is also in the normal Power Apps. And after clicking that, we can yeah, we can create here a new Power Apps table, which is then stored in Dataverse. And I've prepared here 3 tables that I want to create. Okay, so this one will be the table called requests. Requests. Select create. And you can see here we have now a Dataverse table inside our Power Apps. And it comes with a primary key, of course. No? In this case, it's called name. And I'm going to create here. There are also a couple of columns which are standard. No? We are familiar with these columns from SharePoint as well. Name in SharePoint is usually the title. No? It's mandatory. That's why it's this star over there. Then we have created on, modified, modified on, and the owner. These are also in SharePoint columns. We're going to ignore those. And I'm going to select new column. This will open this pane on the right-hand side, and I'm going to write here the display name, which is request number. This is my column, and this will be an auto number, which means this will count the numbers by itself. It's similar like the ID column in SharePoint lists. And minimum number of digits, we can leave it at 4, and we can say here it starts by 1, so it starts 001. I'll select save, and shortly after I should have a new column here. Okay, I need another column. This will be my approval status. Okay, this will be a choice column, and here we can select if it's a yes, no column or a choice column. And here I think it's a bit complicated, but yeah, let's see. We can say here a new choice. It's not that intuitive, I think, how they've been made in this. It used to be better. So the display name of this column will be approval of these choices, approval status. And we can write here the different statuses. Let's take a green one for approved. Approved. Grab another one, which would be a red one for declined. Select save. And now that we have created that choice or those choices, we need to sync these choices. So we need to find them here, which are called approval status. And we can see here we have 2 options, approved and declined. Now we can save this. Our options are here as well. Okay. Okay, now this is there. Let's grab another column called comments. And this will be text column, and we can have it in rich text or text area. Now it'll be a bit bigger. Select save. Okay, so this is now our first table. If you close it, we'll see that Power Apps will add this table. Let's hope it. Yeah, there it is. It will add the table into our Power App. And so later on, we can use this table inside our Power Apps. So I'm going to create another table. This will be called the assets table, or categories, assets categories. Select create. And this has now, again, the name column. And here I'm going to enter some data. So what I imagine is we have an application later on, no? Not today, but later on, where we are going to order like office assets. Like I want to order a new monitor, a new chair, a new desk, a headset, and so on and so forth. And so we have the assets and the assets categories. So assets categories will be chair, and we can directly write into the table, which is pretty cool. So it's chair, it's a desk, it's then headphones. Then we have what else? Let's write monitor, and that should be enough for now. Okay, so this is our assets categories table. Let's close that. And now this will be added as well into our application, and it is also in our Dataverse environment. Last, I will add another table, which is called assets. So I create, and this now will contain a lookup, which is called category, a lookup, and the related table is the one called assets categories. Save. So what this does is it shows me the options that I just created on another table. Let's grab another column, call this price. This will be a number column, but not a whole number. We can select here different options, and I'm going to select decimal. Select save. And we have here the category and the price. And yeah, let's stick with it for now. I mean, it doesn't matter that much what how the data looks like or how it is built or what data we have inside. It's more of how it works, how you can build it and how we can then integrate into Power BI for teams. So this will trigger your imagination and you can then go on and create this for your use case, of course. So what I don't want to do here is to copy some data, and I want here to write so that we have some data here. Let's have that one. That will be monitor, and the price will be 1021. So imagine this data is being put inside via the application. Let me copy a couple of other here rows. Let's also share. And that's cost 115. Another monitor. Let's grab one or two desks as well. $50. Let me take a look if somebody has a question because I cannot see it right now. Okay.
No question. No question.
Okay. Thanks. Okay, that's also a desk. And let's give another price of, I don't know, 350, and should be okay for now. Okay, let's select close. Okay, so in the request table, we can say here edit data. And now that we have that asset category, let's add it here as well. So this will be a lookup, and we'll call it asset category as well. And this will look into the asset categories. So this is the request. So when the user will create a new request, they will enter their name, their request number will be automatically generated. The approval status, you can imagine it having like an approval process as well. And the user can also add some comments, and they can select here which category they want to order. And yeah, we can also have here the assets, of course, because they can select the category and also then an asset. This will also be a lookup into the assets. So, and we can now, let's think about it like we are doing this from application, but actually we're entering the data here. So Enea, myself, now it's auto numbering here is requesting a chair, And normally, when you build this in the application, you will do the cascading dropdowns, which then will filter these assets based on the category. Now, in this case, it's not that way because it's in the database, no? But yeah, chair, I'm going to select, no, that's a desk. I see, I already did it wrong. I get that one. And we have then Max, another person will request a desk. That will be standing desk. We have then Megan requesting headphones. Do we have any headphones here? No. Then she will request a monitor. Curved one. And I will do one last one. Martin, monitor, let's say again a chair. Ergonomic chair. And they're writing some comments, which I'm not going to do now. And after the application has saved this data, a Power Automate workflow, which you can also build inside of Teams, of course, will trigger. And then this will go to the manager. And based on that price that we have put there, the manager then will run an approval status. Right? So let's say that happened. Now we have here approved. Let's do this randomly. Declined, approved, declined. No? That's how it happened. The imagination, and let's close it. Okay, so the data has now refreshed, and we have this information in our Dataverse. No? So I'm going to close this now and go to Power BI so that we can create a new workspace, because we can also do that from Microsoft Teams as well. So here are our workspaces. There are a couple of them as well already. And here we can create a new workspace. Let's call this demo showcase and select save. And we already have our workspace. And let's see here, we can give access as well. We can enter here an email, for example, Megan. We have here Megan, and we can say if she is an admin, member, contributor, viewer, and so on and so forth. No, I will make her a member because she can also she should also be able to edit the reports, and I will add her in here. I'm going to close this, and now I have shared this workspace with Megan. Okay, how do we bring now the data from those tables that we just created? To do that, we have to go back to Power Apps inside the application. So I'm going to close this, go to the Home tab. And after this loads, we should be, yes, as we see here, we have our tables that we created 8 minutes ago and so on. And let's take a look how that's inside. And as you can see here, we have these requests, and we can create here our views. Now we have here our columns, approval status, asset category, comments was empty anyways, request number, and let's save it. And these are the information that we put into this table inside of Power Apps. So now we are in this, looks like a solution, and we can see the tables that are in there. This is our request table. And what we can do here is we can either create a new column, we can edit the relationships, we can create new views. And it's very familiar to each one of you who has already worked with the Dataverse before. So what we can do here as well is we can edit this, or we can edit this data in Excel. Why not? And what we want to do is we want to go back, and instead of going into one of these tables, I'm going to select here See All. So this now will show everything that's in the solution, and we are here in the Tables tab. And if we go here to Export, keep in mind that you don't have to be inside of a table. You need to be on the Tables tab. And here you can say Export. This now will open Microsoft Power BI. It says here analyze in Power BI. Or it will download the file first, and then we have to open it. So it looks like it's downloaded. So I'm going to go now to my downloads and see. That one should be the one. Yeah. So I'm going to double click that. And now it's launching Power BI. Takes a while. And as you can see, it's already trying to connect to my organizational account for the Dynamics with the Dynamics connector. It says here common data service, still called there like that. And let me show you real quick how the download looks like. You get like a like an coded name for that file. So it should be easy to find. It's in the downloads. And yeah, it immediately tries to connect to the common data service. You need to sign in first. I will do that now. And I'm going to use, that's none of the accounts I want to use. 1 second. That's the account I want to use. And the password. And now it has connected. I'll say connect. And this will now launch the navigator that we are familiar with in Power BI. Give it a second. Still connecting. Okay, looks like it went through and the navigator has launched. And now we need to search for our tables. Now there are a lot of tables here, but ours were called assets and assets categories. And the other one was requests. I'm going to select these 3 and I'm going to say then transform data. We're not going to do anything complex or anything wild in Power BI because I just want to show you how you can, how you can use Dataverse for Teams and Power BI. So how you can visualize that data. And I'm just going to do a quick cleanup of the tables and put like a small visualization on the screen just that we can see the data that we have in that in those tables. And that's it. From there on, you can continue yourself. So I'm going to search. As you can see here, we have a lot of columns, 45 columns to be precise. And what I would like to keep is, let's scroll to the right. We have here the name of that asset, the category. No, that's the code, the category name, and the price. That's the columns I want to keep. And I will remove our columns. So I have these 3 now. This is my assets table. Let's do the same for the assets categories. Scroll to the right. Let them. We have here the name. Did I miss the rest? Oh yeah, it was only 1 column. So keep in mind, I'm going to remove now other columns, but if you want to create a relationship between them, we should keep the IDs and so on. But as I said, I don't want to deep dive that much into the the analytics. Okay, last but not least, requests. So here we need a couple more. We need, let's go to the right. We have here the name of the requester, request number, the approval status, which is coded in a code here, but we can fix that in a second. And we have here the asset category name and the asset name. I think that's enough. I'm going to remove other columns. And this one here is a number column. Before fixing it, I will change it to a text. And then I will copy this one, because if you remember the requests, take a look. We had here approved, declined, declined, approved, approved, declined. What did I say? Approved, declined, declined, approved. So Enea was approved. I'm pretty sure we can find the name of that choice, but I'm not going to bother now to find that, since the time is running up. So I'm just going to replace the values. No? So I see now that Enea, myself here, has an approved one. So the 000 at the end is the approved one, and the 1 at the end is the declined one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this value, and I'm going to say replace values. That value, please replace it with approved, and replace the other value with declined. Yeah, so quick and dirty, we have that column fixed. So this one is the name. This one is the request number, and approval status. We have here the asset category name. And the asset name. Okay. This is our requests table. This is our assets categories. This table. Rename that to name as well. And this one also needs to be named, name, category name, and that's the price. Okay. I'm going to close and apply. So now we can see on the right-hand side the tables. And let's just put here a simple visualization, and let's say the asset name and amount of approval status. So yeah, in this case we have one which is with the number of approval status 1, which is doesn't make any sense here. Let's try something different. Let's put that over there and the name here. Yeah. Anyways, as I said, I haven't worked a lot on the visualization of the data, since it's just dummy data. Doesn't make that much of a sense. But yeah, so this is then how we can work with this data, or how we can connect the data to Power BI at least. Now that's what's the topic of this presentation. Let me jump to the presentation again. Switch the screen. Second. Jump to the right screen. Okay. Yeah, so that was the demo part. So let's take a look on the licensing options. No? So as I said, Dataverse for Teams is included at no additional cost for Microsoft Teams customers. No? So you can add Dataverse for Teams to any team, and it supports a very high volume of records. No? I think 1 million for each team out of the box, no? Which is very, very useful, and you can you can make applications of many types with that amount of data. You can use the apps, chatbots, and automations backed by the Dataverse, and for Teams, which is embedded in Teams, of course. No? And if you want to have the full power of Microsoft Dataverse, then you can upgrade to a standalone Power Apps, Power Automate, or Virtual Agents license, where you then have the full capacity and all the role-based access control and extensive business logic and so on and so forth, no? Which is much more powerful, of course. But then that can be used for more business critical solutions in your company, of course. Yeah, I think that's a very cool part, no? which is included. And I am open for questions now, if you have any.
Awesome. I think I'm the one that learned the most today, because I'll definitely try out some stuff. So if you have any question, you can drop it in the chat box, or you can raise your hands up. Awesome. That was so for me, I'm in charge of the internal process when it comes to Power Platform, right? So I think I've seen some stuff you did that I will definitely try out in the office tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's for free, so go on. Why not?
I'll try to do some more improvements on it. Awesome. So if you have any question, can you just put it in the chat box or raise your hands up? So you can also talk about your YouTube platform. You can share your YouTube platform or any of that.
Yeah, let me do that. 1 second.
Actually, I've dropped it in the chat box already, but you can still share the screen and tell everyone about it.
Yeah, let me do that in a second. Sorry, I haven't prepared to show anything about myself. I wasn't thinking that selfish. So
No. He has a very nice resource on YouTube.
Can you see my screen? My channel?
Yes, I can see it. Yes.
Yeah, that's my channel. I can paste this into the chat as well. Oh, you already have that. Yeah, okay, awesome.
Yeah,
and I do here. I don't have like a plan where I say I will start from beginners and expert and so on. What I do is I showcase use cases. No, I work every day with a Power Platform, 4 or 5 days a week. And every time I stumble upon something difficult or something where I myself need to search for a solution, and most of the time I don't find anything. So I try to collect these bits of information and make a video for other people who are looking for the same solution to find it a little bit easier than I had to find it. So yeah, that's what I do. I showcase solutions for that. Yeah. For different cases, and I love to share my knowledge. Yeah.
Awesome. I watched 2 videos from your YouTube channel that I actually used one time to help a client to solve a problem one time back then. Yeah. So awesome. Also, can I drop your LinkedIn? I've actually dropped it, but can you talk about your LinkedIn also?
Yeah, I'm also very, very active on LinkedIn. And let me paste that in the chat. You did as well. You are faster than me. Yeah, I have a couple of followers there. Everything where I don't have the time to make a video about, I try to write it down in like a short post, and just sharing my knowledge in any way I can. It doesn't have to be a video all the time, because a video takes a lot of time, but even a post or something like that. And a lot of people reach out to me on LinkedIn if they have any questions and so on. So you can feel free to do that as well. Whenever I have time, I'm happy to help.
Okay. Awesome. So for everyone, okay. Someone said, thank you, great section in navigating through your career journey. Okay, so would you like to tell us about your career journey and how you started your own journey in the Power Platform, and also what advice you have for people just starting out in the old Power Platform?
Yeah,
ecosystem?
definitely. Well, as you can see on my LinkedIn, I started working for Unified Square before. Unified Square is a UC company, so I used to work only on unified communications technology. So Microsoft Teams. I started with Skype for Business, and what I did is I implemented the software in companies which had like normal phones, where you have to dial, and then they moved from decked phones to Skype for Business and later on Microsoft Teams. So that was what I was doing, and I was doing a lot of user adoptions, a lot of trainings, and so on. And yeah, and one day I discovered the Microsoft Power Platform because we had internal problems with managing projects. So the projects were managed in Excel, were managed in PowerPoint, and it was very time consuming. So the PMO manager came to me and asked me how we can do something a little bit more efficient because they are spending hundreds of hours every month and year trying to manage these projects. So what I came up with was instead of having Excel and PowerPoint and so on, I told them, let's create one single source of truth. And to keep it simple and cheap for the company, you always start with SharePoint Online. That's the way to go. So I started creating SharePoint lists, and that then took off because the data was in one place, but the way they were interacting with the data was not that efficient either. So then I tried creating Power Automate flows. I started Googling and learning from others like Shane Young and Reza Dorani and the big guys out there who are sharing their knowledge. And I started doing automation so that the data automatically is created so that the users don't have to spend that much time. And still they needed in a more efficient way to enter the data and edit the data. So that's where I started playing around with Power Apps. And Power Apps was a big thing because it was much more complicated than SharePoint or Power Automate for me. So I learned a lot from Shane Young. I think most of the people have learned from Shane Young. So that's how Power Apps came. And last but not least, they requested a way to display this data, and they used to do it, as I said, Excel and PowerPoint. So they used to display how the project is going in PowerPoint. So each project had its own slide, and they were saying the project is at risk, or it is what problems we have, or what issues, and what are the next steps, the milestones. All was manually written in PowerPoint, which is crazy hours. And I took all that data and put it in Power BI, and Power BI became one of my favorite tools to work with in the Power Platform. And since you can do from very simple stuff, as I was saying, just displaying some SharePoint data, up to crazy complex stuff where I'm not that good, so I'm trying to get there. And that's pretty much how I started with the Power Platform. And later on, because I wanted to do the Power Platform full time, because in that company I was only doing it for internal purposes, I moved to novaCapta. So now I'm doing it, almost 2 years full time.
Awesome. So someone is asking in the group chat that, okay, do you use much of Power Virtual Agent?
To be honest, no. I've played around a little bit with Power Agents, but there are no projects. The companies are not requesting it that much because I don't know. Maybe it comes later on. I think Power Virtual Agents still has a way to go. No, it's not that powerful yet. You can like Power Apps or Power Automate or Power BI. But who knows? Maybe in the near future it will take off as well.
Oh, cool. I think I go with your answer too, because of I've used it, but not really for big. Most of I prefer using the Google chat box more than But I think what advice for people just starting out in the field of data itself, like in the field of Power Platform, what advice can you give them?
If you're starting new, be curious. Be curious. Never stop learning. There is so much information now out there. When I started, it was much less. As I said, I remember only Shane Young, and maybe later on came 1 or 2 others. But now there's so many people out there who invest their private time and do this for free for other people to learn. Huh? So it's you don't need money, you don't need anything, you just need some time and the curiosity. If you are willing to learn, there's a lot of content out there, and I will definitely use YouTube as a platform, and also the Microsoft Learn documentation is very, very well structured. And I started with a PL 900, which is the first certification in the platform. I think that's a very, very good starting point if you want to know the general knowledge. And yeah, move higher from there. No? Continue with the certifications. You don't have to do them, but I think it's a nice way to present it to your future employer, for example.
Okay, awesome. Literally, I just want to say thank you. So if no question anymore, I think we'll be rounding up very soon. So awesome. So first of all, I will say thank you for honoring our invitation once again. I think this should be your second or third time, right?
Yeah, last year I was as well. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, awesome. So thank you very much. And thank you everyone for coming. So I'll say have a lovely week ahead. So bye guys. Bye
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye.
Thank you very much.